Is the mandatory hotel quarantine for international travelers the right approach?
We were literally just talking about that, and I'm not really, I mean, we all miss traveling, right? So if it's going to have some deterrence that keeping people out of our province for the time being, which means that we can open businesses here, I think that it's an approach. And if it's going to keep people from traveling, then sure.
Makes sense to me. I mean, if we want to, try and beat it here and then we have to keep it coming from outside, I think we need stronger internal measures as well.
No, I just think that if somebody's taken the shot away from here, that they should be able to quarantine on their own.
I don't have a problem with it. I think we need to have something, so that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think people should be traveling, and I think people should be really careful. So that's one way of discouraging people from traveling.
I know someone that's coming back from Chile that they already got vaccinated in Chile, so hopefully they could just take like a COVID, and it just saves them the 3 days. But like, I think right now that's fine. Like, it's reasonable for anyone coming in.
Yes, I think we should not be traveling international if at all possible, because that's the way it's spread.
I think that's a good route. I would say that there needs to be exceptions for exceptional cases, in particular where families are coming to be with loved ones who are dying, and this is their last chance. In that one in particular, or for people going for health treatment in the States. I am glad that they have made some exceptions there. But otherwise, I think it's great. I think it's great as a deterrent for people to travel and also for protecting the spread.
Yes. The safety of other people. So they're recommending people don't travel unless they have to. So if you choose to travel, then you take that into account.
I would say yes right now, because you're not supposed to be traveling. So unless if it's for business, I guess that kind of makes a difference. But if it's just like leisurely travel, like you're deciding to put people at risk, so that's what you ask for, to pay out of pocket when you come back.
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I think something has to be done for people that are traveling, and I think maybe with putting it on your own dime, it may curb people from traveling. So I think it might be the right thing to do.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think it's a black and white question myself. I mean, there are people that have to go travel for family reasons, for medical reasons, and students. I think you almost have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. Snowbirds, I think certainly they should be, held to account for fleeing, but everyone else, I think it has to be taken on a case-by-case basis.
I think that's too strict in a sense that not everyone has, the means to stay at the hotel for 3 days. They could just quarantine at home, but there's a risk though if they have family at home. So I don't know, to be honest.
Yes, I do. Yeah, definitely. Because if people are coming in, if we came in, we did 14 days quarantine, and we had to for coming in. If people want to come, they have to do it. I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's the right thing to do. Yeah. And so we came from Singapore as well, and you had to pay for, if you had COVID or you came down with COVID and you were travelling the country, you had to pay. You had to pay yourself. So if you want to travel, unless obviously you're working for a company that will pay for you to stay. But yeah, I think it's the right thing to do.
I can't think of a better way. I would think that it's a good idea. I mean, we have to all quarantine ourselves if we've been in contact with a known COVID case or had a COVID test. So if that's the way to do it, that's the way to do it, I guess. So,
my opinion, they shouldn't travel at all because of the COVID and everything's going on. Oh yeah, man, they should even put the price higher. That's my opinion. Oh yeah, I totally agree with that, and I have no problem with that, totally at all. That's why I don't travel, so you don't travel. So why would they travel and get for free and all that stuff and bring that stuff back here? That's how we're not killing it, because they keep bringing it out. So no, I totally agree. They should stay the whole 14 days at a hotel. That's my opinion.
No, I think it's a terrible approach. I think I don't think that there's so much a problem with the fact that people can't quarantine at home. It's some that won't quarantine at home. It's more of a trusting the people to go home and do the quarantining, more so than the fact that quarantining in a hotel is no different than quarantining at home.
No. I think it's a little bit too harsh. I think people can quarantine in their own homes.
I mean, I guess really I don't know what other option there would be to make sure that people are quarantining when they get back. So I guess that would probably be a good thing.
I guess so. Like, government has been doing its job, like to really lessen the COVID cases here in Canada. So I guess if people want to go on a trip, like when it's really important, they should like put in a budget so that they can afford hotels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, if they can afford to go on a holiday, they can afford to pay the hotel room too.
That is an absolutely good idea. Because they're coming from the outside the country, we don't know what they're bringing in with them as well. So COVID-19 is all over the world, so people need to be quarantined 14 days after coming out from other countries.
Until there's a better option. That's the way to go, I guess.
Yes. Because if I'm unable to travel, I want to keep my family safe. So if you're coming back in, I hope that you would keep me safe as well.
I think it's a good idea, but I don't like the price that they're charging everybody. It's kind of ridiculous prices.
100%. I think if you are going to go out at this time and place and do that, I think it is very important that you understand that there are some precautions that you do need to take on your way in. And if you're not going to plan ahead for it, then maybe it's not the right time for you to be traveling. I know I heard that it is a little bit of a price range, which is good. I heard it could be up to $2,000, which for me, I will definitely not be traveling. But if you can afford it, then I say you do you.
I think that should have started long ago. There were more people coming in when this thing fired off, going through in BC through Vancouver and that, coming from Asia and even the other coast. The airport should have been shut down. I believe that the quarantine is long past due. I'm not so sure the process. I think the process is flawed and messed up. I think that should have been looked at a lot more than the way it was handled. I think it was done too quick, without thought, like thinking the whole process through for everybody. And it shouldn't be expensive